Hello students, welcome back to chemistry class. So today we are starting with another topic of organic chemistry. Again a very important, very easy, very good topic, isomerism, because you all know about isomerism. Although not in detail, but yes, you all have at least some simple idea about isomerism. So now first we start with its definition, that what do we mean by isomerism. Isomers are the compounds having same molecular formula but different structural formulas, right? Their molecular formulas are same but structural formulas are different. So whenever you draw the isomers, always check their molecular formula should not change. It should remain same. So first, how many types of isomerism are there? There are two types of isomerism. These are structural isomerism and stereoisomerism. Now, types of structural isomerism, it is further divided into subcategories. These are, first is chain isomerism. Then the next is position isomerism. Next one is functional group isomerism. Functional group isomerism. And the fourth category is metamerism. So these are four types of structural isomerism. Now types of stereoisomerism. Two types, geometrical and optical. So beta, out of all these different types of isomerism, some we will be covering in 11th standard and few we will cover in 12th standard. So first start with structural isomerism. Structural isomers, as the name is suggesting, molecular formula will remain same, but yes, the structures of compounds will be different. And that difference in structure can be in terms of chain length, can be in terms of position of different groups, can be in terms of functional groups, metamers. I will tell you what is the meaning of this term. But yes, these terms are very simple. You can easily tell. Coming to stereoisomerism, a little bit different term. Compounds having same molecular formula but different arrangement of groups in space. Right, beta? Compounds, they have same molecular formula but arrangement of groups in space around central atom, that will be different. So this give you different types of stereoisomers of that special case. And types, geometrical and optical, of course we will be doing in later in other lectures. So now we are starting with first type of structural isomerism, that is chain isomerism. Chain isomerism. Definition, compounds having same molecular formula but different chain length. We have to change the chain length in those compounds. Suppose if I start with butane. Yes, my dear, can you tell me the molecular formula of butane? Butane means a chain of 4 carbon. Till now, I think you all become very, yes, what to say? Efficient in writing formulas as well as naming of compounds, organic compounds especially, because we did a lot of practice for IUPAC nomenclature. So butane means 4 carbon chains, single bonds. So C4H10, 2n plus 2, right now? C4H10. So first compound which we can draw is a straight chain of 4 carbon. CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. 4 carbon chain. Now in second isomer, what we do? Change the chain length. Now take a chain of 3 carbon at the place of 4 carbon chain. So second isomer, this is the first, that is butane. And the second isomer, if we draw, take a chain of 3 carbon. Fourth carbon take in side chain. Now give the required number of hydrogen atoms. CH3, CH3, CH3 and CH. So name of this compound, methyl is on second position. 2-methyl propane. Or beta, if I have to write the common names, now I think you can write that also. This is N-butane, straight chain of 4 carbon. This is secondary butane because, tertiary beta, because this carbon is bonded with 3 other carbon. So this one is, if I write common name, N-butane, and this one, as this is tertiary carbon, so this is tertiary butane. You may write the isomers in this form or in terms of bone line notation. Both are correct. Now moving ahead, if I give you one more example of pentane, that is C5H12 molecular formula. Again, this is a task for you, beta. First pause the video, try on your own, and then come back and compare your answers with me. So first we will make a 5 carbon chain, simple straight chain of 5 carbon. This is first one. So name simply pentane or common name, as it is a straight chain, so we may write N-pentane. So simple. In next case, what we do? Change the chain length. At the place of 4 carbon length, now take a chain of, 5 carbon length, now take a chain of 4 carbon. So if we take a 4 carbon chain, 5th carbon in the side chain. Both the atoms are same. You can draw it with this carbon or with this carbon. Then we satisfy the valences with hydrogen. Yes. Now name of this compound, methyl is on second position. So this is 2-methyl butane. And common name, this is iso because these are the two CH3 groups present on this carbon. So this is iso, and total carbon, because in common names we take total carbons, note the chain. So this is iso butane. We can make one more beta here, because now take a chain of 3 carbon at the place of 4 carbon, 5 carbon chain, 4 carbon chain, and then next a chain of 3 carbon. Remaining 2 carbon we can take in the side chain. This is, and then hydrogen. Beta, one more thing very important, whenever you draw the isomers, always write the names as well as compare the molecular formula. Like here, if I check its molecular formula, total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbon are there. Check the hydrogen, 3, 6, 9, 12. Same. In each isomers, it's very important to check the molecular formula. It should remain same. If molecular formula is different, we cannot call that isomer. Now, name of this compound, second position we have 2-methyl. So, this is 2,2-dimethyl, and then 3 carbon chain from any direction you can count. It is propane. 2,2-dimethyl propane. So, this is third isomer for pentane. It means pentane can give 3 chain isomers. Now coming to its common name. Structure is, yes, which one? Neo. You are correct. So this is neo, pentane or propane. Right answer beta, pentane, because total carbon are 4. Neo, pentane. So in this way, we are getting 3 chain isomers of pentane, 2 chain isomers of butane. In chain isomers, we have to only change the chain length, nothing else. Now, if I ask you to draw the chain isomers of propane, quickly can someone give me answer? How many chain isomers I will get in propane? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many? Yes, we cannot get any chain isomer of propane because propane is C3H8. So, first simple one, we can make a chain of 3 carbon. This is a 3 carbon chain. But now how can I change the chain length beta? Because it's not possible to take 2 carbon chain for propane. Because when I take a chain of 2 carbon, third carbon, of course, I will join either with first or with second. Wherever you give, if I'm giving it here, again it becomes a chain of 1, 2 and 3. So not possible. Chain isomers are possible from at least 4 carbon chain. And by increasing the number of carbon, the number of isomers would also start increasing. So hope it's simple for you to draw the chain isomers. Now start the next one, that is position isomerism. So in position isomerism, as the name is suggesting, definition is compounds having same molecular formula but different positions of unsaturation if present in chain. Substituent or unsaturation, or we can change the position of functional group. So these compounds, they have same molecular formula but they differ in the position of substituents, unsaturation or functional group. These are termed as position isomers. For example, if I take butene, because in propane we cannot make, not possible to change the position. Butene, so the molecular formula of butene is C4H8. In C4H8, we can make 2 isomers. One, a straight chain of 4 carbon atoms and double bond, E means double bond, that is on first carbon. Now give hydrogen. Molecular formula is same, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Always check the molecular formula beta. So this is but1ene. But1ene. Take the another case. Now give double bond on second carbon. Shift the position of double bond from first to second. This is but2ene. So this is the meaning by position isomers. Means here we will change the position of whatever is present in chain, that is substituent, unsaturation or functional group. We will change the position of that compound. Now for example, if I take chloropropane. Now beta, I haven't specified that chlorine is present where. It means we can make its 2 isomers. One, in 3 carbon chain, I can give chlorine to first carbon. Then satisfy the valences by hydrogen. Or second option, I can give chlorine to second carbon. So this is 1 chloropropane. Now in second case, I am shifting position of chlorine from first to second. It will come here. Now I will give hydrogen. Just check In both cases, molecular formulas are same. 3 carbon, hydrogen 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 4 plus 3, 7 and 1 chlorine, C3H7Cl. Right, Peter? So, now the name of this compound is, it is 2-chloropropene. I hope now it's clear to all of you that how do we make position isomers. Right? Now coming to the third category of isomerism. Functional group isomerism. Definition is very easy. Compounds having same molecular formula but different functional groups. Molecular formula will be same but we have to change the functional groups in those compounds. For example, if I give you C3H6O, not C3, C2H6O. Suppose this is I'm giving to you. And we have to write its functional group isomers. So from here, how do we decide the functional group? This is the first question comes to our mind. I'm giving you two compounds here. Just compare these two compounds. One is C2H6O and second I'm giving C3H6O. So what is common in these two cases? That is, in both cases single oxygen is present. The common factor is single oxygen, that is common. Now we have to think about this, that which functional groups contain carbon, hydrogen and one oxygen. So just check your list of functional group, that which all functional groups comes under this category. This means these two categories. The first alcohol comes in this category. Single oxygen, carbon, hydrogen is there. Then the next comes in this category is ether, ROR. Next one comes in this category is aldehyde, RCHO. Third comes in this category is RCOR. Means these are the three functional groups which contains, other than carbon and hydrogen, oxygen is also present. So of course these two compounds, they contain any functional groups out of these all. So just think, Peter, that is this alcohol, ether, aldehyde or ketone? You have to decide. Confused how to take decision? It's very easy to decide, Peter. Just say alcohol ROH, means no unsaturation is present. Ether ROR, again no unsaturation is present. But aldehyde and ketone, carbon oxygen double bond is there, means unsaturation is present. And we all know well that unsaturation will decrease the number of hydrogen in the chain. So now check these two molecular formulas. In first molecular formula, hydrogen is more than double. 2 carbon are there and hydrogen more than 4. 2 2s are 4. So hydrogen more than double. More than double means it's a saturated compound. Unsaturation is not there. And if unsaturation is not there, then it cannot be aldehyde or ketone. Easily we can decide. Same here. Hydrogen carbon is 3, hydrogen 6. Double means unsaturation is there. So of course this is aldehyde and ketone. If we are not giving unsaturation to carbon chain. If we give unsaturation to carbon chain, then of course we can make alcohol as well as ether also. But now we are not giving unsaturation to carbon chain. We are simply changing the functional group. Because we are talking about functional group isomers. We are not making any change in carbon chain. So coming to first. Now it's clear this is either alcohol or ether. So two functional groups present in this compound are alcohol and the second one is ether. So now first example we write for alcohol. Functional group is written. Now take a chain of 2 carbon because total 2 carbon are there and satisfy the balances by giving hydrogen. Now check the molecular formula. 3, 2, 6. 6 hydrogen, 1 oxygen, 2 carbon. Ethanol. 1 is ethanol. Now try to make another isomer, that is for ether. R1 means both sides we have chain of carbon. Total 2 carbon are there. How do we distribute? 1 carbon towards each side. So both the sides give chain of 1 carbon. CH3, CH3. Again C2H6O, same molecular formula. So we can say alcohol and ether, they are isomer, functional group isomers of each other. Now check for this. Already discussed. The possibilities with this compound are aldehyde and CHO and ketone. So these are the possibilities with this compound. Now try for both. First we write for aldehyde, that is RCHO. Total 3 carbon are there. Out of 3, 1 we have already used, means 2 are left. So take a chain of 2 carbon. And then check molecular formula. 3 carbon, hydrogen 3, 2, 1. 6, 1 oxygen. Satisfied? Now try for ketone. Ketone is RCOR. So first we give functional group. 1 carbon we have already used. 2 are left. 1 to each side. Give hydrogen. Check the molecular formula. C3H6O. Satisfied? So again it is clear that aldehydes and ketones are functional group isomers of each other. Now name of this first compound. 3 carbon chain, propane, suffix of aldehyde, al. So this is propanol. Then 3 carbon chain, propane, suffix for ketone, on. Now you people are making my work easy really by writing names on your own, because now you know well what are the rules to writing the names, how do we have to write the IUPAC nomenclature. At least one thing you know well, and after this lecture you can even draw the isomers also. So this we have completed third isomer, that is functional group isomerism. Fourth type is metamerism. Meaning of metamerism: compounds having same molecular formula, but they differ in the alkyl groups attached on both sides of functional group. Right, Peter? What is the difference? Difference is in the alkyl group attached on both sides of functional group. So at least in this chain, in this isomerism, we should have 2 chains with functional group. Like in ether, we have 2 chains, ROR. In ether, we have 2 chains, ROR. It can be a symmetrical ether when both the chains are same. And it can be asymmetrical ether when both the chains are different. So now these 2 are metamers of each other, provided their molecular formula should be same. Because here both the chains are same, but in this the chains are different. So in this way we can make the metamers. We can take ketone even, R COR, R COR dash. So we have to change the alkyl groups bonded with functional group. Just take example. For example, we are taking ether with total 4 carbon. So C4H10. With this I have to write its metamers, not functional group isomers. So here you cannot write that one is ether and the second is alcohol. Write its metamer. This is functional group, ether. Both sides we have to take carbon chain. Total 4 carbon are there. Now how can we distribute these 4 carbon? One option, 2 plus 2, equal distribution. Second option, 1 plus 3 can also be there. Right? So when we are taking 2 plus 2, CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. Beta, just check the molecular formula again. 1, 2, 3, 4 carbon. 3 plus 2, 5. 6, 7, 10. Same. Now redistribute this chain length. 3 plus 1, CH3O, CH2, CH2, CH3. So these are metamers because what is the difference in these two metamers? Both chains bonded with functional group are different. Both side 2 carbon chain, here 1 carbon and 3 carbon chain. So this is the meaning by metamers. And now you can write their names also. The name of first ether is, children tell me, ethoxy ethane. It is ethoxy ethane. And second one, as it is a chain of 3 carbon. So when it's a chain of 3 carbon, of course, we have to write the numbering also. 1, 2, 3. This is the numbering. So name is 1 methoxy group is on first carbon. Right? Because its prefix is alkoxy. 1 methoxy propane. Or beta you can write the common names also. Both side ethyl group is there. So its common name is diethyl ether. Diethyl ether. And its common name, one is propyl and one is methyl. Write in alphabetical order. So this is methyl, propyl, ether. But which propyl? Straight chain means N-propyl ether. So hope with this all structural isomers are clear to you. Chain, position, functional group and metamerism. After structural isomerism, we are doing stereoisomerism. Definition. Already I told you, compounds having same molecular formula but different arrangement of atoms in space around central atom. That is stereoisomerism. Now, first type of stereoisomerism is geometrical isomerism. Geometrical isomerism. Optical isomerism we will be doing in 12th standard, not in 11th standard. So, geometrical isomerism, first, which type of compounds show geometrical isomerism? Carbon-carbon double bonded compounds or alkenes, they show geometrical isomerism. Cause of geometrical isomerism, that why only alkenes show. Alkynes are also unsaturated, but no geometrical isomerism is possible. Reason, their structure is linear, so they cannot show. Why in linear is not possible? Once we talk about details of geometrical isomerism, automatically you will give the answer that why in alkynes it is not possible. Clear, beta? So now first we talk why alkenes they give geometrical isomerism. In alkenes we know carbon-carbon double bond is present. In double bond you all know well, beta, that one bond is sigma bond and the second one is a pi bond. And we know pi bond is formed perpendicular to internuclear axis. So if this is internuclear axis, pi bond is formed perpendicular to internuclear axis and the orbitals they overlap, sidewise overlapping is there. Like in this way the orbitals they overlap. Now if orbitals they are overlapping, sidewise overlapping is there, we cannot rotate them freely. Free rotation is not possible because if you try to rotate the one, rupturing of bond will take place. Right, beta? Bond will break down. So that's why it is said that rotation around pi bond is restricted. Free rotation around pi bond is not possible. Around sigma bond free rotation is possible because in free bond this is head-to-head collision is there. And if head-to-head collision is there, simply you can rotate it like this. Like if I talk about this, in this marker, if I want to explain you this rotation, like if this is one orbital, this is coming from other side, of course they would be symmetrical like this. So here you can rotate it like this. This rotation is possible. This free rotation is there. because head to head collision is there. So we can freely rotate in this way. Either you can rotate this or you can rotate this one. This free rotation is possible here around single bond, sigma bond. But in case of pi bond, as this sidewise overlapping lateral collision is there, so you cannot rotate freely. If you try to rotate the one, bond will break up. So now I think this reason is clear why in alkenes geometrical isomerism, that is due to restricted rotation around pi bond, geometrical isomers are formed. This is the reason. Now how geometrical isomerism is formed? Second, is all kind of alkenes they give geometrical isomerism, because this is the first condition we gave alkenes. So now the question comes to our mind, is it possible that every alkene will give geometrical isomerism or not? Just wait and watch, you will get your answer. First I am starting with a general case of alkene. Like I have a alkene, carbon-carbon double bond, and the two groups, two valences of carbon are free. With this first is AB, second also AB. Now if I draw the structure, we know in case of one pi bond, type of hybridization is sp2. sp2 hybridization means trigonal planar geometry. So this is first carbon, trigonal planar geometry. Trigonal planar pi bond. Now the two atoms bonded with first carbon are A and B. Second also A and B. Now I am making its another isomer. See, fixing the positions of first, I fix these positions. Just shift the position of second one, like A and B, you shift their plane, B and A. Or you can fix this one and shift this, but better don't shift both, then it becomes same, no difference at all. Fix the position in one and shift the positions for second. Now check the difference in these two cases better. In first, we can see similar groups are towards same side. Both A same side, both B same side. So if similar groups are present towards same side, this isomer is termed as cis isomer. What do we call it? Cis. But check in second case, similar groups are opposite to each other. This one is termed as trans. Understood? So this is the first case of cis and trans. Now I am giving you some general cases. Try to think geometrical isomerism is possible or not. For example, if I have a alkene where A and D, these options are there. Can I get geometrical isomerism, children? Just think and then tell me. Okay, now compare your answers. This is a double bonded carbon. Both the groups with first carbon, AB, second carbon, A and B. Cis or trans? Although these two groups are not same, but these two are same and they are towards same side. So of course it is cis form. Right? We can make it trans also. How? Just take A opposite to each other. Fix the position of groups in first and shift in second. D and A. So this becomes trans. Clear beta? So this type will also give cis trans isomerism. This type will also give cis trans isomerism. Surprisingly, one more thing let me tell you. And then this is, let me take as X and Y, because I cannot take C, that creates confusion with carbon. What do you think? Possible or not? Yes, this will also give cis trans isomerism or geometrical isomerism. How? We will discuss with the help of example. So this will give beta. Coming to the next category. If I have a case like Is there any possibility? No, now no possibility, because we cannot take similar groups opposite to each other. So this kind of alkenes will not give cis-trans isomerism. If I have this one, again you can try, no chance of geometrical isomerism. So this type of alkenes will not give. So children, the first condition of geometrical isomerism is that alkenes, they give geometrical isomerism. Second, all alkenes will not give. You know now what is the option where we will get or where we will not get. Now check few examples. Like beta, I am taking propene, CH3, CH double bond, CH2. As here these two groups are same, so we will not get cis-trans isomerism. No chance. Because if I draw this first, these are the two double bonded carbon. The groups with this carbon are CH3 and H. Here, when both the groups are same, similar side as well as opposite side, so no chance. Means in this compound, kind of compounds, we will not get geometrical isomerism. Coming to next please. Compare these with your general examples, that we place them in which category. If I take this but 2e, both the groups with double bonded carbon are different, so of course here we will get geometrical isomerism. Like the two groups are CH3 and H, CH3 and H, and here CH3 and H. So similar groups towards same side. This is cis. If you will take them opposite to each other, CH3, H and CH3, we will get trans isomer, right? If I take one more case beta, for example, these are the two double bonded carbon atoms and the groups are CH3, then this is C2H5. Sorry, I am not taking C2H5, I am taking here halogen. This is also, and this is C2H5. Although all the groups are different, but one similarity is there, that is these two are alkyl groups, these two are halogen. So we can say both the alkyls are opposite to each other, halogen opposite to each other. So we call it trans. Just change it. If I take in this way, shift these two, CH3, Cl, C2H5, Br. Again, alkyl groups towards same side, halogen towards same side, cis form. So now I think beta it's clear how to draw cis-trans isomers. Now, both forms, do they have same physical properties or different? So beta, just think about this, whether their physical properties are same or different. Okay, we are discussing with the help of but 2e. I am showing both the forms of but 2e. This is cis but 2e. This is trans but 2e. Of course, they differ in their physical properties because their dipole moment is different. Their dipole moment is different. Water solubility, boiling point, melting point, all are different. Now, how do we decide all these characteristics? So, to decide all these characteristics, beta, first we check their dipole moment. To check the dipole moment, although these two are carbon atoms, but the difference is this one is sp3 hybrid carbon, this is sp2 hybrid carbon. And we know sp2 hybrid carbon is more electronegative as compared to sp3 hybrid carbon. So of course in this case, the direction of dipole moment is from CH3 group to this C, because this is sp2 hybrid. So here this is the direction of dipole moment. In this case also this is the direction of dipole moment. And hydrogen and carbon, of course carbon is more electronegative, although there is no much difference between the electronegativity of carbon and hydrogen. But yes, difference is there. So in carbon and hydrogen, the direction would be towards carbon. Now beta, if you check the direction of dipole moments, both carbon-carbon dipole moment are coming in downward direction. So of course, they will add up with each other. But if we check this, in this case, transform, direction is from CH3 to C, hydrogens. So just check, both these dipole moment, they will cancel each other. Similarly, these two also cancel each other. So we can say the dipole moment of cis is greater than trans. So this is the first difference. Dipole moment, in case of dipole moment, cis isomer has more than trans. Trans almost zero आएगा बच्चे, because equal and opposite, so they cancel each other. But that is not possible in case of cis. They are not in opposite direction to each other. So we can say cis has higher dipole moment as compared to trans. And if cis has higher dipole moment as compared to trans, more polarity, so more boiling point. So this is clear that boiling point of cis is again higher or trans? Cis, because its dipole moment is more. Cis has higher dipole moment as well as higher boiling point. Coming to melting point. Confusing. Can we say as cis has high boiling point, so it also has high melting point? Please beta, never ever say this. Never ever say this, because criteria to decide melting point and boiling point both are absolutely different. Boiling point we are deciding on the basis of dipole moment. But for melting point, you have to see the packing in the compound. More is the close packing of particles. Higher would be the melting point. Loose packing, lesser will be the melting point. In trans, as similar groups are opposite to each other, and as they are opposite to each other means less repulsive interactions. Less repulsive interactions means they are comparatively closely packed. And if close packing is there, difficult to break that packing, so it will increase the melting point. So we can say melting point of trans is higher. But in case of cis, just check similar groups towards same side. Same side means repulsive interactions dominate. And repulsive interactions are more. Loose packing, break easily. This is the reason that the melting point of cis is less as compared to trans. Right, beta? So with this, I have completed isomerism.